Yeah, and we are live. So, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Ero F2. As you can see, it is the Italian Grand Prix, and I believe it is round six of the season as well. It's crazy how time does fly. It was not too long ago we were in Britain doing well, a very bad job with crossplay. But today is not just myself. I'm joined by Jacob. Some of you guys might know him as Jet. So it's going to be myself and him in the commentary box for you all today, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you a very fun and entertaining race.
Monza is a good track. We may see some DRS trains by the cars ahead, but hopefully they do go for moves into turn one and keep the stewards very busy.
Yeah, I think. Wait, who's the steward for F2? Is it
Um,
Michelizi?
yes, it is.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure Michelizi will be watching as well. As far as I can remember, we've had some very crazy races at Monza in the past. I believe 2 seasons ago, that race was quite eventful. But yeah, it can. I think it can swing either way, just depending on what's going on. In terms of the championship standings, as far as I'm aware, it's still Bashi who's got a very good lead out in front at the moment. Let me just confirm that before I say something incorrect. So current championship leader is still Bashi. He didn't race last time out in Bahrain, but he has won every race he's participated in. So let's see if he's going to continue on that streak. He's currently got a 35-point gap between himself and Pangrio, the man running in second place currently in the championship in the Alfa Romeo. Is he here today?
Yes, he is, I think. Let me
Yes,
quickly
good
double check.
stuff.
Yes, he is.
Yes, so
He had a good race in Bahrain,
yeah.
but then FM or Yami Hyman or something like that took out Super Thomas ahead of him on purpose, and so now hope. And that caused Pangrio to win, but then Pangrio didn't get the win in the end because it was fair if Thomas got the win.
Mm. Yeah, first to I saw that, which was kind of. Were you commentating on that?
No, it was Linus and Ennis.
Okay,
I would have
okay.
done, but I was too busy eating food.
Yeah, that was crazy though. I couldn't really understand why he felt the need to do that, but yeah, I guess people will have their own issues.
Yeah, people have strange motives to what they do.
Yes, so hopefully no more of that, and we've got some good racing on our hands today to continue the standing. So then between Pangrio and the man in third, that is Bashi's teammate Jerko Balgos, who's not had the best of starts. He would have hoped to have had at least one win on the board, especially with his teammate taking 4 victories. He's currently on 59 points and 55 points off the championship leader. Vilzu got his first podium since returning to ERO last time out. He's currently running in fourth on 49 points. And the man nearest to him is Super Thomas, who obviously took victory last time out in Bahrain. He's closed the gap to all of those above him. He's currently on 43 points. And then we've got quite a sizable gap down to Libana, who's currently best of the rest on 22 points. So we've got 13 seconds left until we know what qualifying is going to be about. Will it be wet? I'm not entirely sure. Have you done any practice so far for?
Only Madrai.
Okay,
Yeah, I have
so
not done any wet practice. God forbid it rains tomorrow.
yeah, well, I think rain is okay. Yes, lovely sunshine. I think rain around here just makes things very much impossible because you basically can't do anything. Very difficult to overtake, and you can't really do kind of alternate strategies and things like that. So we've got a dry quali today. Who's going to be the first person out on the track? We'll keep a close eye on that as well.
I
And in
believe
terms of,
it's.
go ahead, go ahead.
I think it's Ferry Wagner going ahead, or one of the Williams.
I
I'm
can
not
see
sure though.
Yellow Man on the pit on the I was gonna say the pitch. Oh my god, I've been watching too much football today. On the track in the Haas. I was gonna say, so in terms of lap times, what do you think we're looking at in terms of the benchmark for pole position?
I think pole position in the end is going to be around a 19.5,
Okay.
19.4. I seen Masiak because I was in a practice session with him. He was doing around that time, and I think Bashi could probably do that as well.
Okay.
So yeah. And I believe Jolliman is an F3 driver coming up, which is good to see.
Has he been promoted?
I think he's just doing this race as a reserve.
Okay. Yeah, good stuff. Let's see what he can do then. He'll be the first man to set a lap time. He's currently coming through the middle sector, the Ascari chicane, now coming down the back straight. So we'll see what he can do and if he can make any impression on his first race in F2. We've got most cars out currently on the track, all cars on the soft compound tyre. So we're going to follow Yoloman as is a McLaren that has spun out, I believe, in the middle sector.
Yes, that's Bo.
So yes, the McLaren is out, that has spun out, but we'll ride on board with Yoloman. I need to check if maybe I need to reduce my game volume. I'm not sure. I know what Tino says I do basically a lot of the time. Let's get the stream up. But now coming down into the end of the first sector, it's always really the braking zone at turn 1 as Pachuca retires in the pits. I'm not sure if he's got maybe a penalty.
Quali ban. I think it's a quali ban.
Okay, yes. So Pachuca retiring with the qualifying ban. And you've got Holloman coming through Lesmo 1. We'll run through an entire lap probably next time out, but just getting to grips with the circuit and trying to get a good benchmark time on the board. So what do you think they'll start off with? Do you think it will be the majority of people in the 1 minute 20s? What do you think?
I think the top 5 would all be in the 19s, and then 6th downwards would be in the low 20s, as Ferry Wagner spins in Ascari.
Yeah, Wagner unfortunately hasn't had a brilliant start to the season. He would really like to get some good points under his belt today and actually finish the race, because I think that's what he struggles with the most. Whilst we say that, Yoloman coming across the line and it does a 1 minute 20.6.
Next is Pangrio. No, he's starting his out lap, sorry. It would be his teammate Ozerki. He's going through Parabolica now, or Curva Alboreto. I think it's the new name for it. Going down onto the main straight, it's going to be a 120.7. Goes behind Jonathan. Oh, Jericho with a 19.2.
Oh, wow. So already, I guess, going above and beyond what was predicted. His teammate 4/10 slower. Whilst we watched all of that, we had Kaipi actually going into the barrier as Masiek goes up into P3 on a 1 minute 20.1. And Super Thomas, the man who won last time out, on a 1 minute 20.6. So the lap time's coming in thick and fast. So you've got a Ferrari coming around the Parabolica. I believe, yes, he is on a quick lap. So we'll see what he can do. Camille about to come across the line, a 1 minute 20.2 up into P4 for him. I think a lot of cars now currently on in-laps.
Yeah, I think Yolma was on a fast lap, a spun in Parabolica. So it'll have to come. Thankfully, he's near the pit lane, so he can come back. As he's reversing now to the pit lane.
Reversing.
As now I think it's Ville going around Parabolica now. He's coming across the line. What time will it be? Will it be in the 19s? Yes, it will. It's a 19.8 pitting P3.
It's a good lap from the Mercedes driver. As Yomi is reversing back to the pit lane. Not entirely sure why he's doing that. I hope it doesn't get him disqualified. I don't think it would.
No, I don't think so either. As now, I think Libanow is on a fast lap. Yes, he is. He's getting a bit of a slipstream from the Alpine, going into Parabolica, down into 4th and 5th. Now back up onto 6th and 7th, down the main straight. What time will it be? Will it be in the 20s? I don't know. Yes, it will be just about 20.9.
Yeah, so P10 for the Ferrari driver, he's going to look to go a lot quicker than that lap time at the moment. You've currently got most other people either on in-laps, or I believe we'll run on board with T-Bran in the Alpine, who's starting his first fastest lap, and we'll actually talk you through it. So coming down into turn 3, so you brake at maybe just after the 100-meter board, you look for that first apex. He did miss it, so he lost a bit of time there, going a little bit deep into the corner, but the double Lesmos to come Lesmos. Did I just say? I think
Yeah, it's
that's
the
correct.
Lesmos.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes I get Lesmos and the Degnas in Japan confused. I don't know why. But the
Yeah.
Alpine coming down the middle sector, now coming to the Oscari chicane. A lot of time can be won or lost around here. Going a little bit deep on the first apex, scrubbing up a bit of time. Probably won't be the most competitive of lap times, but still one corner to go where he can make or break his lap. You won't maybe find too many invalidations around here. I think they've made it a little bit easier to stay in bounds on this game, just on the exit. As you can see, hugging the inside of the corner. What is it going to be for T-Brand? It's P13, so he goes last of the bunch. And we'll be looking to improve.
Yeah, the next lap, or next person set lap time, sorry, will be Eat My Dust in the Aston Martin. He's coming up to Parabolica now, braking just before the 50-meter border. Goes into 6th, gets on the power fully. He's coming, will he go into dive into pit? No, he's going hugging the apex now. He gets a 20.4, which puts him P7.
And I believe that's no, it's not Super Thomas. So McLaren's starting lap, I believe it's Bio. So we'll run on board with the McLaren driver and see what he can do. So he braking just before 100 meters. Does he hit the apex nicely? Yes, he does. Had to counter steer a little bit. We might have turned in slightly early. Yellow flags in the middle sector. There's an AlphaTauri going slowly. But we'll stay on board with Bio as he comes down towards the end of the first sector. This will be his first lap, 10 minutes left in the session. So we'll see where it can put him. Hitting that first apex very nicely. It'll be interesting to see how much curb some of these guys are using, because at least to my knowledge, you can't use too much of the sausage curb, especially in the first sector.
Yeah, you really don't want to touch it, and also in the second Della Roja, you don't want to touch that either. You can get away with taking it in the first, on the first in the Della Roja, but not in the second.
Okay, good stuff. It'll be interesting to keep an eye on that, but unfortunately for Bill, he invalidated his lap. So what we're going to do is we're going to run on board with the current leader, Jericho Balgos, as Wagener just went up into P3 on a 190.8. So good lap from Wagener. We're going to follow the Red Bull driver, who's the man who set the benchmark at the moment of a 1 minute 19.2. Very good lap. Can he improve on it? Slightly down in the first sector, but still a very long way to go in the lap. Ooh, looked like he got a little bit out of shape. Oh, yes, he did. Looked like he got a little bit out of shape on the curb, and in fact, he did. So that lap will be aborted by Jericho. Bashi might get blocked by the Alpine, but fortunately, he just got out of the way. Be interested to see if Jericho gives his teammate a slipstream.
I think he will, as he's going up towards Ascari. Will he get out of the way before Ascari? Yes, he will. And Bashi is slightly up, but not enough to go ahead of his teammate. Ooh, I thought he got invalidating there, but he managed to keep it within the white lines at the end of Ascari. Now powering down towards Parabolica. Can he find like another 3.5 tenths to get ahead of his teammate? He goes into 6th, gets on the full throttle now. Hugging the white line, hugging the white line. Will he get into the 18s? No, he won't. It's a 19.5. I think it's Campbell. Yes, Campbell goes up to P6.
I was going to say not enough there for Bashi. So that lap from Jericho looks like it could already be good enough for pole. Whether or not Bashi can find another 3 attempts will be the deciding factor. He did get a nice slipstream from his teammate, but unfortunately wasn't able to improve. But we'll run on board with Mats Hausman in P5 currently on a lap. In the middle sector. What's the set time? He's down 7 tenths, so he's probably made a mistake somewhere in the lap. But Vilzu behind is up by 0.5 tenth of a second. So can he continue on his way and potentially get himself on to the front row? He needs to find a few more attempts in order to do that, as yellow flags being waved in the first sector.
Yeah, I think it's just it's just an Alfa Romeo getting out of the McLaren's way.
Okay. Well, Vilzu then, looked like the rear was sliding a little bit there, but he managed to keep it nicely together. He's going to come across the line and go P3 on a 1 minute 19.7. So he found just under a tenth of a second in his lap. Quite a few cars out on track, I believe, currently on lap. So let's see if we can hop on board somebody that is going quicker. Astros improves by 7 tenths of a second and goes up into P9. Pangrio currently on a slow lap, and so is Yomir.
Yeah, Panos was up, but then he made a mistake in Lesmo too, and just got on the curb too much and spun.
Panos.
Yeah, Panos, he made a mistake in Lesmo too.
I was gonna say, why do I feel like I can't see his name on my screen? Panos.
It should be Pangri.
Oh.
P10.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, his name's Panos. Sorry, it's me being
Yeah.
uneducated. So he's about to start another lap, it seems. So I think he's abandoning the lap. I'm not sure if he'll have enough ERS though, starting with 70%. But you could take us through the lap as we ride on board.
Okay, yeah, as he's going into turn 1 and turn 2 now, clipping both apex in second gear. Short about to fourth and fifth now. Going around Curva Grande. Let's see what second time will it be. He's now powering down towards the Della Rocha. Maybe get a slipstream from the Aston Martin as he's up slightly, breaks at the 100-meter border. Takes a lot of cover on the entry, kisses it on the entry. Yeah, that's a very good Della Rocha. He could be up by like a couple temps here as he is getting a slipstream from the Aston Martin and gets out of the way into Lesmo 2 now. Takes a lot of the apex on both entry and exit. Opens the DRS and now powers down towards Ascari. Will he be up? Will he be able to go into the top 5 maybe with this lap? As he's 5 temps up, this could be peak. Oh, and he advantage to Ascari. I was going to say this could be challenging Bilzu's P3 lap time.
Yeah, very unfortunate there from Pangria. Was looking like a very good lap. Still seemed like there was a lot of time to find. Whilst we were watching him, Kaipi in the Alpine actually went P5. And we've got Wage now, who's also starting a lap. So we'll run you through this as well. He's taken the first corner. He's navigated it very, very well. He's on a 19.8, so he'll be looking to see if he can get himself on the front row with 5 minutes to go left in this session. Let's see what his first sector time tells us. He's up by half a tenth, braking just at 50 meters, clipping the apexes very nicely, very nice traction as well. Now coming into Lesmo 1, can he keep the car inside? Yes, he does. Gets on the power fairly early as well, uses the curb on the left. And is he going to do the same for the second Lesmo? Yes, he does. DRS wide open, and now he's going to have to wait, spot his braking point before going into Ascari, where he can win or lose a lot of time. He's up by 2.5 tenths, and he invalidates on the inside as well, and he's going to spin.
Yeah, it's very easy to cut the start of Ascari there. There's a lot of curb you can take, but if you just take too much, it will easily invalidate your lap time. As it seems that's catching up most of the drivers, as I think Vilzu and Jericho are on their outlaps. So it'll be interesting to see if Jericho can beat his 19.2 and possibly get into the 18s.
And we've got Spinner and his Super Thomas, who spun, I believe, was trying to start a lap. So that will compromise him. I take it he'll come into the pits. You've got, Jericho is the furthest Red Bull around the track. So we'll wait for him to get round.
I think T-Brand is on a lap going through Parabolica. Oh, now he's not. He just spun a Parabolica. He's in the pit lane, so he can go back in, get new tyres, and maybe challenge to get into the top 12. I think Yolmir is starting his lap. He's a 10th up in the Williams driver in P12. Can he find more time and maybe get in the 19s? He's a 10th and a half up. It's not enough to get in the 19s at the minute. He's going through Ascari. Doesn't invalidate like other drivers. As he's now powering down towards Parabolica.
No. Sorry, as you were going there, apologies. So what we just seen on screen here, we've got Yomir coming through the final corner, but a massive issue in turn 1. Jericho Balgos was about to begin his lap, and there was about 3 cars coming out of the pits. The Alfa Romeo parked it on the apex of the corner, and Jericho Balgos actually almost ran into him. Apologies to cut you off there. So we had Yomir going into P9 on the 20.1, but Jericho Balgos massively compromised and unable to begin his lap. You can see on the map there's a lot of traffic he's got ahead of him at the moment. Only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session. Obviously unsure about how much fuel he's got, but that was going to be his lap to potentially secure pole position. But his teammate now has started his lap and he's quite a way behind, so he'll have good space on the circuit. So we'll ride on board with the championship leader, and he aborts, he backs out.
Sorry to cut you off quickly, as Vilsi was 3 temps up in the middle sector. This could be a 19.4. Let's see, is he going across the line now? No, it's a 19.5. He's 2 thousandths behind Bashi. As I think, Bashi's backed out. He's 1.6 seconds down in his delta.
Yeah, he backed out, but brilliant lap there from Vilzu to get himself up into P3.
Yeah, challenging for P2. Just like in real life, Mercedes and Red Bull battling out for pole.
Yes, and there you go, the battle for pole. It does come down to this. So you've got Jericho Bagos now starting his final lap, and he still does have cars up ahead of him. That shouldn't be an issue. Or he hooked that apex wonderfully. Oh, brilliant there from Jericho Balgos. Is it going to reflect in his first sector time? That really did look very smooth. Didn't get any oversteer or understeer. Hit both apexes perfectly. What's his first sector going to be? He's down very slightly, but that is basically no time. You can find that all in this middle sector. He gets a little bit out of shape, and on the curb, he potentially would have lost a bit of time. He's got a car up ahead, so it's not looking like Jericho Balgos is going to improve on this lap, as you've got a Ferrari that has retired, and you can see there in the middle of the track on the exit of Lesmo 2, he's out of qualifying, and Jericho Balgos has backed off as well. He's not improving.
Yeah, Bashi's invalidated turn 1, took too much curb on the entry, and he's invalidated his lap time. So I don't think he can set another lap time. No, he can't. So that's his qualifying over.
And what we've got at the moment is, it looks like pole position is more or less wide open. Somebody could jump in and steal the show, as Jericho Balgos, I don't believe will get another lap. He's going very slowly in the final sector. I'm not sure how much time is left on the clock. Oh no, Jericho Balgos will get another lap. So he'll have one more chance to put or to secure his pole position, unless he's going to bring it into the pits. But it looks like he is, yes, he's coming into the pits. So that's qualifying over for both Red Bulls. But we're riding on board with Wagner in the middle sector. Can he still? Oh no, he's gone out. He's out. He's out of qualifying.
Yeah, he just got too much curb on the exit of Lesmo 2 and just got on the power too early and just lost it. He was down in the first sector, so he did need to do that to find the time. As I think a Red Bull with Bashi, yeah, go through Parabolica, just implementing that. Qualifying is now over. As Kaipi's in a wall.
Oh, but Massic's up by half a second. Massic's coming up to the line. Can he put himself on the front row of the grid? No, he can't, but he does go P5. We've got Super Thomas also on the lap, but he was down just under a tenth, currently in P10. Can he find a few more attempts to secure his position in the top 10 of the shoot? It does look like it might be a good lap. He does improve by a tenth, goes up into P9. We've got Astros in the Haas pushing very hard as Pangrio goes P4. Late in the day, Pangrio puts himself on the second row of the grid. We've got the Haas driver currently running in P12, coming down the back straight with one corner to go. Can he find a bit of time to get himself inside the top 10? It looks like everybody else has finished, and this will be the final representative lap in qualifying. Can he jump Super Thomas and get inside the top 10? No, he doesn't, but he does go P11.
Yeah, that is the final representative lap time, as I don't know how to pronounce that, Circuit. I think the other Alfa Romeo is 18 seconds down, so that is qualifying over.
And yes, so yeah, we were just waiting for Zerky to come into the pits. But so Jericho Balgos putting in his first lap of the session very early on, and it was more than good enough for pole position here in Monza. So it will be a Red Bull front row lockout with his championship leader and teammate Bashi running alongside him. So it'll be an interesting fight going into turn 1 to see what happens with the Red Bull drivers, as it does get very, very close coming out of turn 2. You've got Vilzu on the second row of the grid, a good qualifying from him. He'll be very keen to see if he can get his first victory of the season today in Monza. And then Pangrio with a very late lap to put himself up into P4. You can smell his championship rivals very close by around him, so he'll be keen to improve on his position in the race. And just to give you guys some context, you can see the sector times there for Jericho Balgos. So across the board, looking very promising. It'll be interesting to see what pole position is tomorrow in F1, especially with a 19.2 as the pole lap.
Yeah. As apparently Super Thomas got a 5-pace grid penalty for colliding with Jolliman.
Oh.
Apparently Thomas is saying Jolliman was on his line.
Oh.
So I don't know if
it looks
there'll
like
be a
Nicky's gonna have
reset or...
Miku's definitely gonna have something to say. Whether there'll be a reset or not, I'm not sure. Let's see.
And apparently it's also meant to be dry for the race as well.
And the strategy I take is a straightforward, hard, medium, like everywhere else. Medium, hard, I guess.
Yeah. The softs, I think, can go around 10 laps. So if anyone wants to be bold and put on a set of softs to be mega quick in the first or last part of their race, then it could catch a few people out.
Interesting, actually, because around this track, well, not even around this track, on this game, I don't think I've used the soft tires in the race, except for like late safety cars and things of that nature. And also, is the formation lap on? Because if it's not, I guess I
I
need
think
to.
it's off. I think it's off. So if you want to go
Okay.
through 5 lights.
Yeah, so let's see. I think, yeah, formation lap is off. So, yeah, we're going to go straight into it here. 5 red lights, 2 Red Bulls on the front row. Let's see what happens going down into turn 1 as his lights out. And away we go. And it looks like Bashi's got a better start than his teammate. He's going to pull up alongside Jericho Balgos going into turn 1. And he's already taken the lead. And you've got Pangrio slipstreaming him all the way into the turn 1. And it's going to bottleneck. Will Vills be able to maintain his position? It looks like he's lost out to Pangrio. Yes, he has. And Jericho Balgos might also lose out to Pangrio, who's had a brilliant start. And it's up into P2 at the moment. We've got yellow flags being waved at the back. I believe there may have been contact. There's 10-second penalties being dished out as Jericho Balgos has got, wow, he's got massive straight line speed. He's literally just driven straight back past Pangrio, but he's overshot the corner. And Vils has been spun on this carnage. Both Mercedes have been spun out. Massive things going on. I'm not sure what's happened there. Wagenar's retired. There's a Williams slowing down in the middle of the track. Safety car.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes were going side by side from what I caught, and they both just collided each other and went and crashed. And I think Regional just caught up in it.
So horrible start from the Mercedes guys. Vilzu having a brilliant qualifying. He's now down in P18. You can see there he's lost 15 positions. Brilliant start from Pangrio, but Jericho Balgos looked like he really had an advantage in straight line speed. We have got a safety car. I'm not sure what happened to Wagenar though.
Yeah, I think it's just because on the exit of De La Roja, you can get a snapper oversteer because of attraction. I think he just lost the car then, as the top 3 are all on the hards, and from 4th to 11th is all on mediums. Let's eat my dust pits for damage, so I don't know if he was involved in any lap 1 incidents. Let's see, he's going into the pit lane. Yes, he is. He has to change his front wing. So some damage then for some drivers. As Kaipi got his 10-second penalty for I think just avoiding incidents and cut turn 1.
Apologies. So yeah, we had quite an eventful start there on lap 1. I don't believe we're having a restart, just to make sure. Let me just confirm. I know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Wagenar, something's unfortunate happened to Wagenar. But as you can also see, quite a mixture of strategies. Obviously, we weren't able to get the dial up before the race started. What do you think about the mixture of tyre strategies we've got going on?
If I could just get up the tyres quickly, there we go. Yeah, medium hards, I guess you could say as expected. Because the softs are terrible on this game. So the safety car at the start doesn't really help anybody. If it was like maybe lap 6 onwards, then it really would have benefited the medium runners, as they could pit to the hards and the hards could easily go to the end.
Yeah, definitely. So I think interesting that the top 3, well, I guess the top 4, because Vilzu also started in the top 4, all choosing to go for the hard tyres, and then from P4 all the way down to P11 on the medium. So the restart will be very interesting, as those hard tyres are very difficult to keep up to temperature. Given that all the cars are in the queue, I anticipate we will have one more lap under the safety car, and the safety car will be in on the end of this lap. You can see frantically weaving are all the drivers trying to keep temperatures in those tires. And just based on that first lap, it's looking like we're going to have a fairly entertaining race here in Monza. So I'll try my best to keep up with all the action on the track for you all watching. But yeah, we'll go around one more time. Both Red Bulls leading, but Bashi getting the jump on his teammate Jericho Bagos, who actually put it on pole. So it'll be interesting to see how hard they fight each other on this restart, and whether Jericho will be looking to get ahead of his teammate as soon as possible. Pangrio also going to be looking with interest at his championship rivals, as he's also on the hard tyres, and then everybody between P3 and P11 is on medium. So we'll be very keen to see who's feeling aggressive and who's feeling racy, and whether the top three can maintain those positions on the restart.
Yeah, just some things to point out, that Astros, Joliman, Super Thomas and Pachuca all gaining so many places on that lap 1, maybe due to incidents. Pachuca starting P20 up to P10, Super Thomas starting from 15th up to P8, Joliman starting 12th up to P6, and Astros starting P10 up to P4. As the safety car is in this lap. So it'll be imperative for Bashi, Jericho and Panos to get a very good start to make sure the medium runners don't behind them do not get a run into turn 1. Because the mediums right now will be quicker than the hard compound tyres. So they just need to try and build the gap, build it to like maybe a second, and then just try and drive off and hope that the medium runners all have battles.
And he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. So Bashi deciding to go before Parabolica. I think that's caught out Jericho. It has caught out Jericho. He's already like 9 tenths behind. Going into turn 1.
And what it's also done is put Pangrio in the back of Jericho, but Jericho seems to have very good straight line speed in that Red Bull. We've got positions changing in the midfield. Patuca and Yolme battling for P9. It looks like Patuca gets through there. And also Vilzu and Masiek, the two Mercedes drivers, switching places. I wonder if any of them have got some heavy structural damage to those cars. But at the moment, it all remained the same. Bashi caught everybody out on that restart, and what that did is it really stretched out the field, and it didn't allow anybody to get up close or up too close. But we do have Astros currently 3 tenths behind Pangrio, and we'll be looking to make an impression within the next lap or so on those medium. Oh, and he spun out and he's managed to hold it. Oh my gosh. Somehow he's kept it out of the barrier. I was going to call it commentator's curse there for a moment, but he's managed to keep it out of the barrier, has Pangrio. Fortunately for him, but he has lost 3 positions. Good thing it's not more than that, because he could have been out of this race.
Yeah, but this also means that temporarily Astros was out of the DRS to the Red Bulls, but now just got back in it.
So he will be getting DRS on the next lap. So if he can find some pace, it looks like the 2 Red Bulls are in a league of their own at the moment. Jericho Balgos doing the fastest lap of the race, but if Astros can find some pace, then he may well have a say in the first stint of this race. As you can see, cars pulling out from behind. The cars they're following. Oh, and it looked like the Ferrari sent it up the inside, and Camille's just pushed Pangrio straight off the track. What was going on there?
Yeah, I think he just got too eager and saw that Panos lost it at Lesmo and tried to get ahead of him because he saw them was winning on the hards and just maybe outbraked himself.
Yeah, it must have been, because it looked like he came from quite a way back, but Pangrio's slowing down there. So I wonder if he's got side pod damage after that, because it was quite a heavy contact that they made there, and he's dropping positions. He's dropping like a stone at the moment. The Ferrari of Camille looks like he's actually going to get past him anyway. So Pangrio is struggling massively at the moment on those hard tyres. Let's see what happens as they come down the second straight on this track, the second DRS straight. Obviously no DRS this lap, but Astros within 6 tenths of a second of Jericho Balgos, and Jericho Balgos within 4 tenths of a second of his teammates. So at the moment, Jericho, the man on the march, can he make it stick on this lap?
Maybe so, but Jericho has considerably less ERS compared to Bashi. Bashi on 76% and Jericho's on 30%. So obviously have to use it to try and catch up to his Red Bull teammate.
DRS enabled.
Panos is pitted.
Yeah, he's got damage. I'm not sure. Maybe he's got wing damage. Is he getting the front wing change?
I am looking now. Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah. So it was quite heavy contact between him and the Ferrari, and it would have broken his front wing. So currently, we've got a very exciting battle brewing at the moment. But like you did say, Jericho had to use a lot of his ERS, so quite a lot less ERS than his teammate Bashi at the moment. But he's a lot closer, and that Haas is ever closer on the back of both of the Red Bull drivers. So I wonder if they would defend too hard if that Haas did come sailing past, as they do look actually quicker than the guys ahead at the moment.
Yeah, Astros needing to use his mediums whilst they can, because with the laps ticking on, the mediums will become have more wear than the Red Bulls ahead, because they're on the hards. So if he can try and split them up, it'd be very good for his race.
Yeah, and it could all change here, as Jericho's going to have the DRS activated on his teammate, and then we might find a little bit of the DRS train with these 5 cars. There's a yellow flag, at least someone spun out. It's Patuka.
Yeah, Patuka spun on the exit of Parabolica. So Parabolica and Ascari are places where these drivers are finding it tough. Obviously with the less assist they have, because F2 is line only. So they're just maybe not used to the traction coming out of Ascari and Parabolica.
Yeah, especially with these very heavy cars at this stage in the race. Still very difficult to really feel the grip the way that you need to. So unfortunately a spin there, it seems, for Patuka. But at the moment still the top 5 running within DRS of each other. And what this will do is it will make a fairly sizable gap, unless Super Thomas is able to make an impression on Yoloman and get into that DRS zone. Oh, and it's Yomi and the McLaren going wheel to wheel, and it looked like Bu's just gone up the inside into Lesmo 1. So it looked like a fairly aggressive move there, but he's made it stick. He won't have the DRS, and Yomi will try and fight back, as there's more yellow flags being waved, and I believe that is Zerki in the Alfa Romeo that has spun out.
Yeah, I think he used to reset the track as well.
Oof. So yeah, Mikulitsi will be keeping a close eye on that. But look at this battle that we've got out in front. The Haas of Astros is really looking to get past at the moment. He's got a good amount of ERS as well, but he is going to be in the DRS change, so he's probably going to have to wait patiently, unless Jericho uses his ERS to get past his teammate. But it looks like he's very comfortable at the moment in P2.
Yeah, it's a tricky situation for Jericho, because if he uses too much ERS, then it'd be under attack for Bashi, which I don't think they want, because I think they are in the party. But he will have to use some to try and cover Astros, as Astros was using some to cover Grande. Could it be sizing up and moving to the Della Rocha chicane?
It looks like it. He had a little look.
Nah, backs out, thinks better of it.
Oh, it looked like he got a little bit out of shape on the curb there. But probably better for him to think better of it. It's not the easiest of place to make an overtake, but he is looking very promising at the moment in the Haas. Interestingly enough, Bashi using a little bit of his ERS as well, but you can see Astros is pressing that button quite aggressively. So it looks like he's going to try and make a move. Maybe not on this lap, but Jericho pulling out of the slipstream for a second there. So they're going to come down the back straight. Him on lap 8. Oh, and the McLaren goes well wide there. Super Thomas gone into the barrier. Maybe that was a bit of lag. I'm not sure what happened, but you saw in the back of the picture that something's off.
Vespa, it's Vespa and the AlphaTauri. As I think Astros is looking for the move now. He's getting a bit impatient, staying behind that Red Bull chassis. As DRS is now on. DRS is now open. Can he go for it? No, he's just not. He's maybe using more wings than Jericho, because he's just not gaining as not enough as what he'd like on the straight. As he goes up. It goes a bit wide coming out of turn 1. That's going to make him lose time, and maybe leave him open for Mats. He's now Super Thomas. He's gained 5/10 on that lap. He's now almost within the DRS of the top 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure how. It looked like maybe there was a bit of lag. If you saw watching on the stream, it looked like he'd gone into the barrier, but he's found a lot of time. He's actually within 7/10 now, so he's going to be within DRS, so he's pulled himself into contention at the moment. You'll also see that Bashi has actually, oh no, just about snuck himself into the DRS to Jericho. But look at his ERS. He's going to be derating very, very soon. So it looks like his teammates got the upper hand at this point in the race, and Jericho might be coming under pressure very soon.
Yeah, this may be bad for Bakshi, for the Red Bull, because Bakshi just losing a bit of his ERS, trying to get out of the slipstream may cost Jericho, and Jericho is maybe being overtaken by Astros and Max and Joliman behind her, as Super Thomas is now closed up to the gap, as because of Yomir and Bo battling, they now fall down to 4 seconds, or 3.7. Is now Astros. Will he go for it? No, he's not. He'll see the red light flashing from Jericho. He know he'll be out of the ERS. So I think Yomir and Bo are battling into turn 1. Yes, they are, going side by side as McLaren gets the move done.
So good overtake there from Bureau. These two having what looks like a fairly exciting battle. We'll stay on board with Yomir and see if he can really pass, but it doesn't look like it. It seems like a lot of drivers are having to exercise that ERS that they have got. No less than Jericho, who's currently on 21% at the moment and is being left behind by his teammate. Jericho Bagos running very low downforce, and that is what is keeping him ahead of the Haas driver, who looks like he's got a little bit more wing on his car. So it looks like that will be something interesting to do for tomorrow in F1 at least. Going to be very important what your setup is like and how much top speed you do have. As you can see, that is what is keeping Jericho in P2 at the moment. He's currently 6 tenths behind his teammate, with Astros only 2.5 tenths further back in P3. Houseman currently running P4 very comfortably in a Haas sandwich at the moment, with Yoloman and Super Thomas in P5 and P6. But we've also got Astros now bombing down the straight. Is he going to send it? He has a little look. Jericho goes very late on the brakes, though he does manage to get it to the apex. So Jericho Bagos with that very slippery Red Bull there, hoping to make an impression on his teammate, as in the background you saw Yomir and Bu overtaking each other once again.
Something we haven't really picked up on is the Mercedes. They both started, they both up to P10, P11, and Bilzu is on the back of Camel, but Camel does not have the RS from Bo to keep him safe from the Mercedes.
And on that, go ahead.
So maybe going into the Ascari, he could, Bilzu could get the move done.
I was going to say on that, so what we saw out in front, Bashi took a lot of curb and Astros actually almost spun out. So it looks like maybe those medium tyres aren't going to hold on for long enough, but a very good spot there. The Mercedes drivers slowly making their way back up on those hard tyres. They'll have their fingers and toes crossed for another safety car. At some point there's yellow flags and it looks like there's a Ferrari. It's Libernau.
Yeah, Libernau spun at Ascari, maybe using too much curb and then just losing the back end. As I think it's going to be 3 wide into Parabolica maybe. Alpine, Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo all battling for P14. Let's see, can the Alpine go down the inside of the Aston Martin? Yes, they do. A bit of contact maybe. The Alfa Romeo gets the switch back on T-Brand. Can he get on Patuca? Patuca's pitting. So Patuca's had enough on his mediums. He's pitting. So the question is, when do the medium runners pit? Because they will be feeling the tyre wear right now.
And speaking of medium runners, the Alpine had a sniff up the inside. He's locked both of the fronts. They almost went into each other, just about managing to avoid each other there, T-Brand and Zerki. So they live to see another day. Bio and Yomir still fighting for P7, and the top 6 all still taking DRS off one another, obviously from P3 to P6, all on the medium tyres. So be interesting to see when they choose to pit, as Jericho Bagos looks like he's found some pace and is really closing in on his teammate here on lap 12.
Sorry to cut you off, but Vilzu is going round the outside of Camel, going into Ascari. He gets the move done. Good
move there from Vilzu up into P9, now only 1.3 seconds behind the McLaren of Bio. So it looks like Vilzu's got some really good pace at this moment. His teammate Masiek will want to follow suit and get through the Ferrari as soon as possible. I'm sure he'll be thinking about a pit stop very, very soon. Can Masiek get a good enough exit onto the straight to challenge the Ferrari? There's yellow flags, and I believe that's an Alpine of Kaipi. Yes, he's gone off in Ascari, unfortunately, or not Ascari, sorry, Parabolica. Unfortunately for him, he's going to drop down and lose quite a lot of positions. And you've got Masiek right on the back of Camille, almost pushing him around turn 1. The battle for P1 still going on. The top 6 still all taking DRS off one another, so nothing's changed out front.
Yeah, nothing's changed out front, but Matson... Oh, wait, no. Yeah, Mats is getting on the back of Astros. Maybe he'd be pushing him, maybe going for an overtake, saying, oh, maybe I want to have a go at the Red Bulls. Saying that he goes wide at Lesmo 2.
So how long do this medium tyres last for, do you think?
I think I saw F3 people pitting round 14, lap 14.
Lap 14, okay.
So they'll probably be around 50% right now, and then the hard could be around 40. As Astros out of the DRS. Astros is out of the DRS. So this could be the go signal for Mats to overtake.
Yellow flags.
He might dust lost it Ascari, but we'll go back onto yeah, as Matt gets the move done.
Astros pits.
Yeah. He's going for the undercut maybe, but the hard tyres will be very cold for the first lap.
But Super Thomas having a little sniff up the inside, almost going for the dive bomb. He thought better of it, but so he'll maintain P5, but we'll keep an eye on Astros. He's going to come out on very cold, hard tyres, but obviously once everybody else pits around him, his fellow medium runners, they'll also have cold hard. So it'll be interesting to see what happens on the next lap or so, and whether people will follow suit and come into the box. Jericho Balgos still sitting behind his teammate, only 4 tenths behind. It looks like he's slowly been coming into this race and finding more and more pace. So can he finally take a victory away from his teammate and eat into the championship lead? At the moment, it's a one-man show in the championship standings. Jericho Balgos can put some pressure on his teammate by taking a victory away from him here. Oh, he goes off the track. Looked like he got out of shape coming out of Ascari, the second part of the Ascari chicane there. He's coming down into Parabolica, only separated by 5 tenths, but it looks like Bashi's running very low downforce as well, because Jericho Balgos still cannot make an impression even with DRS.
Yes, and Astros, to mention on the hards, he's come out with clean air ahead of him, so he won't get hold up by traffic, but he's got cars behind him that may want to go for a move.
And what we also have, what we also have is Super Thomas in the pit, so we'll ride on board with Astros and see if they do come out near each other on the track. Remember, these guys were separated by maybe a second or so, given that there was a DRS. Everyone was in DRS. Somebody's out of session. It's Kaipi. Is that going to be a safety car? It's a safety car.
Is it virtual? I think it's a virtual safety car.
It is a virtual safety car. So is anybody going to be able to steal a pit stop? But what that has done is it has meant that Super Thomas has come out ahead of Astros, but Super Thomas will have very, very cold, hard tyres when the safety car or when the virtual safety car goes in. So be interesting to see what happens on the restart and how long the virtual safety car is going to stay out for.
Yes, and this allows Jericho to regain his battery up to maybe around 80 to 90%. Because he was around like 30, so this will be good for him, as he's out of the DRS at the minute. So he's not keeping to the delta, because in F122, if there's a virtual safety car, you have to keep to the delta, and if you go below the delta for 15 seconds, you get a drive-through penalty. So if any of these drivers get a oh, it's Bashi Pit, sorry.
And so Jericho's going to follow him in, so the virtual safety car's still out, and they're all choosing to come into the pit. We'll have to keep an eye on when the session resumes, but it looks like these guys are all going to gain some kind of advantage. Vilzu continues round, and the virtual safety car has gone out. Well, the virtual safety car has gone, so Vilzu, Masiek continue round. They're going to lead. We'll have to keep an eye on Zerki at the moment. You've got Yomir currently also coming into the pits for the hard tyres. Super Thomas and Astros coming down the pit straight. It's going to be close, it looks like, with those other guys that pitted. Super Thomas is going to come under pressure, and Astros actually has to back out. They're going to go wheel to wheel going into turn 1. They make contact. The Haas and Super Thomas. The Haas is, Yoloman and his teammate also making contact there. They bang wheels again, but Astros is going to make his way through, surely past his teammate. Nice and easy. Oh, they make contact, and that's in the barrier. He's round.
Yeah, sorry to point out, Jericho did get held in the pits, and this allows Matt Usman to get ahead of him, so that's net P2 for Matt Usman in the AlphaTauri.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant there for Hilsman. He'll be very happy at that. Unfortunately for Jericho, he chose to box under the virtual safety car, has had to stack behind his teammate, and now he finds himself quite a long way behind. As there's another virtual safety car.
It's an actual safety car, so this allows Vuzu and Masiek to pit, maybe
Oh
onto...
wow, mediums.
Yeah, mediums or softs if they can pull it, if they can go the distance.
So I wonder where that will put the Mercedes drivers. I think the biggest question is, why is there a safety car?
I think it's because I think the safety car gets triggered if there's multiple yellow flags. So I think with Joloman spinning and some other drivers going wide, the game thought, right, it's safety car time. As Vuzu goes on the mediums and Masiek goes on the mediums. So I think they were P10, P11 as Masiek... Oh, never mind, on my screen he was held up. So where do they come out?
Vuzu's out in P6.
Yeah, he's ahead of Bo. He's overcut Bo. As Masiek comes out P9. So he's still behind Camel, but Vuzu has jumped Bo. And he's jumped Yolmer. Yolmer's pit. People are pink for softs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Eat My Dust, Pango and Yolmer all pitting for softs. And why wouldn't you? It's a gamble. But they'll be quick for the first 5 laps.
Definitely, because there'll probably be about maybe 9 or 8 laps remaining once we have the safety car coming in. So yeah, I guess why not? Maybe it would have been interesting if Vuzu or Masiek had actually chosen to go for the soft tires as well. And because of that, it will also be interesting to see if anybody else chooses to follow suit on those softs, because they'll be a lot quicker than anybody on the hards, definitely.
Oh yeah, and they'll be quicker than the mediums as well, because there are some people on old hards like Patuka. He's done 5 laps on his hards already. T-Brand just ahead of Eat My Dust on 4 lap old hards. Libernal 2 lap old hards. So it's imperative for the soft runners to get ahead as quickly as possible, use the soft tyres, and if they do start to die out, just hold position and hopefully get some good points.
So Vuzu, Masiek's prayers came true. They got the safety car they needed, and now they are back in with the shout, and Vuzu will have a very big opportunity at taking a podium here, as he's got 3 cars in front of him running on the hard compound tires. So he's going to be on brand new mediums, whilst there are other cars on used or very slightly used but hard tires nonetheless. Bashi still dominating at the moment out in front. He's led every lap of this race. Can he maintain that? We'll have to wait and see. We'll keep an eye out on the final cars. A few cars that have come into the pits. T-Brand has come into the pits, as well as Vespa. Now you've got everybody from P13 downwards on the soft compound tires. So we've got a very big mixture of tire strategies here, and you know what that means in Monza. It means utter carnage is about to ensue. I anticipate some very good racing to come, so make sure you stay tuned for the final 9 laps that we're going to have here. We've got Bashi, the championship leader, leading, and Houseman, who's gained under the safety car, as Jericho had to stack behind his teammate. He's lost out, but he's on the medium tires. Then you've got the race winner from last time out, Super Thomas, running in P4 with Astros, himself and Astros on the hard compound tires. Vuzu, who unfortunately will look like he made contact with his teammate on lap 1, he's managed to gain under the safety car. He's now on new medium tires, running in P6 with Bio, Camille, Masiek and Patuka rounding out the top 10. But then, as you can see, from P13 to P18, all on brand new soft tires. So we'll be expecting the safety car to come in on this lap.
Yes, as I'm just going through the warnings now. Bashi has none, Mats has 1, Jericho has 1, Super Thomas has 1, and Astros has 2.
So good racing from them. They've got a little bit of leeway in the next 9 laps. They can maybe make one more extension before it gets really sweaty palms. But you can see Bashi's gonna try and catch everybody sleeping like he did on the last restart. He'll need it as well, because there's going to be some very quick guys on soft tires that are going to be looking to come through the pack as soon as possible. So he needs to get a clean getaway and really get that Red Bull off the Parabolica and all the way down to turn 1 in one piece, and it looks like no, he hasn't gone yet. He's gone now. So you can see the Red Bull's gone now, and Jericho Balgos looks like he might have got a jump maybe a little bit too quickly. He's pulling up alongside Houseman already, but the McLaren of Super Thomas is going to get a wonderful slipstream all the way down into turn 1. We've got a couple cars fighting for position. Oh, and Jericho defending the inside. The McLaren's going to try and go up the middle. Good move there from Jericho Balgos, who takes P2. You've got the Mercedes of Prime Vills, who's going around the outside of Astros. He now gets up into P5. He's going to battle Houseman. Now there's a McLaren making contact in the background with another Haas, and you've got Vilzu on the back of Super Thomas now. He's going to look to get past and make his way up into P3. Is he going to send it around the outside like Lewis Hamilton did a couple of years ago? No, he can't make it stick. Super Thomas maintains the position, and there's a Red Bull that spun. It's Bashi. Bashi spun out.
Oh, it's terrible. It's Magic did what Vil couldn't. He went round the outside of Patuca in the De La Rocha chicane. So now he's P7 as Vilzu is now P3. That's a mega start, safety car restart by him. An absolute dread for Bashi.
Yeah, unfortunate for Bashi, the championship leader. He's made a mistake.
People go 4 wide. I think most of the soft runners went 4 wide going into Lesmo 2, and Eat My Dust has come up worst of it.
Oh yes, you can see he spun out. Unfortunately for Eat My Dust, it's P18. He's out at the back of the grid, but you can see we've had a very entertaining safety car restart. Pangrio currently P10 on those soft tires. We've got Zerki on the back of Patuca, looking like he's going to make a move around the outside of Parabolica. Is he going to be able to make it stick though? He's very late on the brakes, but Patuca keeping the inside line and holding it well. They're going to go wheel to wheel all the way around the final corner, and Patuca with really good straight line speed maintains the position. You've got Vilzu and Super Thomas going wheel to wheel as well, but Vilzu looks like he's got a very good straight line speed. He gets up into P2. Can it be a victory for Vilzu here? It's the gap between himself and Jericho Balgos is 1.6 seconds, so he's got a little bit of work to do. Let's see if he can pull it out of the bag.
Yes, if he can pull it out of the bag and mass his teammate. Oh, there's a yellow flag somewhere. It's Vespa. I think Vespa spun. As further back, Yolmir and Joliman are going to go side by side into the De La Rocha chicane. Will Yolmir make it stick in the inside? Takes a bit of curb. Yes, he does. As now Pangro is pulling up to behind his teammate. Will Zerki let him by, or will he battle it just like it's any other car?
Well, on the soft tyres, surely he'll be defenceless, but we've got a long train of cars, as you can see here, all the way from P2 down to what we've got is Pangrio and Libanal in P11 on the hard tyres. DRS will be enabled on the following lap, or the lap to follow this. So it'll be interesting to see what can happen. But it looks like the soft tyre runners haven't been able to make too much of an impression on anybody else, which is very, very interesting. I'd say at least when it looked like Patuca got massively out of shape in the middle of the Parabolica there, and it's going to actually put a Zerki on the back of him. So we're going to have the Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin go wheel to wheel as Patuca's derating down the straight. And Zerki pulls to the outside. Is he going to be deep on the brakes? Yes, he is. They make a little bit of contact, but it looks like Zerki's going to make his way through. And Super Thomas spun out, but he's reset to track.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't catch that. Yeah, Super Thomas spun, but he was out of the DRS. Ooh. I don't know if he got pushed. Oh, it's a bit of big contact.
Yeah, no, the Aston Martin and the two Alfa Romeos fighting massively here, and it looks like the Alfa Romeo's going to sniff and move up the inside, but he thought better of it. He lost a little bit of the rears. Pangrio going to send it up the inside of his teammate. Surely he'll have to on those soft tyres. He does. They're going to make contact. Wow, somehow they've not made contact. This is brilliant racing here between the two Alfa Romeos and the Aston Martin of Patuca, who again gets out of shape and is going to offer the position to both Alfa Romeos, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. Oh, and they're going to go 3 wide. Surely this isn't going to end well for any of these cars. Is Pangrio going to be able to get around his teammate? Yes, he does, and he keeps it in bounds as well. Brilliant move from Pangrio.
That's an amazing move on the Pangrio on the soft tyres, but now he has to make 2.4 seconds to catch up to Masiak and get behind him, but it may not be over yet. Zerki may be able to look for a move going into the main straight, as it's going to be it's a battle for P7 between 4 cars.
Libanar involved in this on the hard tyres, 2 attempts back. Patuca's got no ERS to battle with, but we're most likely going to have the Alfa Romeos going wheel to wheel. Is Zerki going to challenge his teammate going into turn 1? No, he doesn't, and it looks all very well behaved there. So nobody trying to make any aggressive moves, as you've got Super Thomas and Yolmir battling for position, and there was a lot of lag that went on there. So Super Thomas, unfortunately, what looked like he spun out, and he's now down into P14 after what was a very promising race for himself. Out in front though, as we just go on board with Astros and he almost loses the rear of the car. He's running P4, half a second behind Houseman, battling for the final spot on the podium. Masiek also involved in this battle on medium tyres, so he'll want to make an impression on this to see if he can get or make it a double Mercedes podium here in Monza. As Joloman's out.
That's surely a safety car.
He's right in the middle of the track. Yep.
Right. The question is, does Pangria have another set of soft tyres? And do people pit or do people brave it out?
I was going to say, what do you think? If it was you and you're in the top 5, do you stay out? Do you pit for new softs?
You surely have to pit. If you have a spare set of softs, you surely have to pit.
Well, let's see. Jericho Bagos does not pit. Vilzu pits. Houseman doesn't pit. Astros doesn't pit. Abu doesn't pit. Masiek stays out. So does Pangrio. So does Zerki. Patuka comes into the box. Libanal boxes. We've got quite a mixture of strategies here, but it looks like everybody in the lower parts of the track will pit. And to be honest, I think this will play dividends for Vilzu. He'll be on brand new soft tyres, but he'll have some overtaking to do.
Yes, so because of the massive people gap, could Jericho pit this lap and still come out ahead of Prime Vilzu, or is he too late? I see it's smart by Vilzu. Do what the opposite of what Jericho does. If Jericho stays out, you pit. If Jericho pits, you stay out. It's no, yeah. What? Now, what lap does the safety car come in?
Oh yeah, because it's a good question. I think you'll probably. Oh yeah, that's a very good question.
It has to go in at least lap 25. Lap 24, lap 25, depending on when the others catch up.
So we're gonna have a sprint. Jericho looks like he's in the best position to win this race, so it's probably a good move for him to stay out on those medium tyres. They'll still be in very good shape, and what he has got is a buffer of 3 cars running on hards between himself and the next drivers running on medium tyres. So
and he's also got a buffer of 7 cars between him and Vilzu on new softs, and his teammate Bashi's in P8, so I don't know if he'll defend very hard against Vilzu to try and help his teammate win.
Okay, so what do you guys think? So people that are watching, do you think that Vilzu is sitting in the driver's seat to win this race? Do you think that Jericho made the right choice to stay out on the medium tyres? Obviously, there's only 3 laps remaining. So we're going to have lap 25, 26 and 27 as racing laps. We will get 1 lap of DRS and it will be the last lap, given that the safety car should come in on this lap. But what are your thoughts? What are your predictions on who's going to win this race? Is it Jericho's? Is it in the bag? Can any of the hard tyre runners make an impression on the current race leader? Or will Vilzu make a charge from the ages to win from P9 here?
I think it'll be tough. I think it'll be tough because Vilzu needs to get past Bashi. If he doesn't get past Bashi straight away, then I don't think he'll have a chance fighting Zerki, Pangri, Maciek, Bo, Astros and Max. But I think the top 3 will be Jericho, Panos I'm going to say. So I think there's still life left in his softs. And I think it's going to be Maciek. I don't think Vilzu. I don't know if Vilzu can get past 6 cars within the space of 3 laps.
Yeah, I think as somebody that's commented and said, not enough cars pitted for Vilzu to be able to win the race. So that is probably a very good point. We'll see if that transpires, as the safety car should be coming in on this lap. Yep. Safety car in this lap, and it's another restart, and it's another Red Bull at the front of the restart. So we're going to watch. It's giving us a very good camera angle here. Hopefully no contact for any of the drivers behind as they weave to try and warm up those tyres. I was trying to keep it at that camera angle, but we'll go with this at the moment. So we're going to keep a very close eye on Vilzu, who's in P9. You can see the red Mercedes rear wing just almost at the top of your picture. And it looks like Jericho's gone. Yeah, so Jericho's gone very early. Could this be costly, and will this give an opportunity for people behind to have a run? As it looks like the Alfa Romeo is going side by side, Bashi going very slowly, and Vilzu actually gets past him prematurely. He's had to slow down, and this is going to present an opportunity to Patuka, who's now going down the straight. As you can see, Bashi's weaving to try and get some temperature into those tires. You've got Pangrio going wheel to wheel with Masiek, and you can see at the top of your picture, Pangrio. Oh, there's contact there. Contact between the Mercedes and Alfa Romeo's gone off. You saw there, it looks like Masiek and Zerki had gone off the track. So a lot of things going on at the moment. You've got Super Thomas under pressure from Libernau. Both drivers on soft tyres. Is Libernau going to look to send it? It looks like he's not got enough straight line speed at this point. But Pangrio up into P5.
Yes, and Matt and Joker's already almost gained the gap to a second. It has a yellow flag in sector 2. I think it's Eat My Dust and Zerki. I'm not sure though, as... Yeah, Panos, but he's 1.5 seconds off Bo. He needs to gain that gap within a second. And Vilzu almost getting the move done straight away, but now he's lost to Patuka. That's going to harm him even more now.
It'll be interesting to see what happened, because Bashi really slowed down quite a lot, and Vilzu had already gone past him. So Vilzu had to slow down, and that presented the opportunity to the Aston Martin driver, who's now up into P7.
Yeah, I think he just lost the rear end coming out of Parabolica. Maybe his rears weren't heating up enough, and Vilzu got the move done, but then the game told him to let him pass again, and that just allowed Patuka. As Astros, I think, is going to look for the move on Mats Huseman for P2. He's using his ERS, he's going to maybe, yeah, keeping his strip sheet. Now going to go down the inside, possibly into turn 1. Can he keep his stick, the Haas driver? Brakes, give room. Can he go around the outside? No, that's contact. Oh, a massive spun. That's allowed Super Thomas, no, Bo, sorry, to go P3. And now this has allowed Panos to get within the DRS. So Panos, if this tyre can hold up, could possibly get a P3.
Panos' front right doesn't look amazing at the moment, but you have still got Bashi running in P6 on what would be better medium tyres. Patuka unable to get past the Red Bull driver, who unfortunately spun out and dropped down the field, but he is still in P6 currently. Out in front, Jericho Balgos, it looks like the man that's going to take the victory. He's 2.5 seconds clear. You saw Bashi go off the track there. Patuka using his ERS to try and get past. Will he be able to do something going into the Ascari chicane? It looks like he's a little bit too far behind, but Bio only 3 tenths behind Astros, and we are coming. Oh, well, damn, Patuka's lost the rear. Vilzu's had to slow down behind him as well. Patuka's almost gone into the barrier, and what that will do is will give Bashi a whole heap of breathing space, currently in P6, and it might give Vilzu a little bit of problems, as Super Thomas is only 3 tenths further behind.
Yeah, now DRS is enabled for Bo. Matt, from Bo downwards, will be able to get DRS, as Yolmis has the fastest lap on the softs of a 21.6. I don't know if I'll get beaten, as now it's a 10th between... Oh, Vilzu's going to go for the move. Down the inside of Patuka. He'll have the outside line for this. Will he give enough room? No. He can't make the move stick. So Vilzu, obviously frustrated that he can't get past Patuka, and this has allowed Bashi to get away and maybe look for a move on Pangrio.
Pangrio's tyres don't look like they're in the best of shape at the moment, but it could end up being single foul to the end. DRS is now enabled. It looks like Vilzu is probably the closest to his next competitor on the track at the moment. The gap 3 tenths of a second, but they will all get DRS on this lap. So unless somebody is completely out of DRS, as Patuka is derating, then he may be able to just about stay ahead. And what all of this race has effectively done is really played into Jericho Balgos' hands. He'll take it in a heartbeat. As it looked like, oh, Patuka went very deep there. Vilzu's going to have a brilliant run.
Move, sorry.
Definitely, he's going to have a... sorry. The MP3, the McLaren and the Haas going wheel to wheel. Is he going to be able to get the switch back? He's going to get the ERS. He's activated the ERS, so they're going to come across the line at the same time. No, they're not. Jericho Balgos crosses the finish line and wins the race. Vilzu gets past Patuka. It looked like just about over the line. They were side by side coming through the Parabolica. Bio took the final step of the podium. Houseman taking P4. Bashi managed to pick up a place from Pangrio on P5. I'm not sure where that happened. Something must have happened there coming into the final corner, but Bashi managing to get P5 from Pangrio in P6, and Patuka's got driver of the day.
Yeah, I mean, Patuka coming from P20. I think he lost P7 in the end to, what is it, Vilzu? I think he finished P8 in the end. So yeah, that is deserved. As I think, yes, there's an incident involving Jolliman in qualifying. He had a quali ban and didn't serve it.
Oh, so there you
So
have it.
I think he's disqualified. Yes, he's disqualified, but it doesn't really matter as he DNF'd anyway.
Oh, is that the Haas? Oh, Jolaman, so you said?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
Jolliman.
okay, okay. Well, yeah, there you have it. You've got the results there. So, a brilliant victory from Jericho Bagos. He wasn't able to maintain his pole position in the early phases of the race, but he kept the pressure up on his teammate, who eventually folded and made a mistake, I believe, spun out in the first sector. He capitalized and took the lead and did not look back. So he wins by 2.2 seconds to Astros and Bio, who are battling for the second step on the podium. They both managed to keep it clean and take what I believe is their first podiums of this season. Houseman finishing P4, Bashi recovering to take P5, Pangrio also finishing in 6th, with Vilzi, who might feel a little bit hard done by, finishing P7 ahead of Super Thomas, Libanal, and Petuka, rounding out the top 10. Unfortunately for Masiek, it's no points. He finishes P12, with Yomir taking the fastest lap in P11.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can say that was a very good race.
Yeah. I think generally Italy does throw up quite entertaining races, because it's a track that, although seems very straightforward, it's very easy to make small mistakes with big consequences. So I'm not sure if we're doing interviews. I don't know.
May as well ask the question.
Yeah. Someone was lagging, I believe. All right, so it doesn't look like we're doing interviews. I don't mind, to be honest. I've actually got stuff I need to go and do. But what I would say is, yeah, so we had a fairly entertaining race here today. Congratulations to Jericho Bagos taking his first victory this season, closing down the gap in the championship to his teammate. Be sure to join us tomorrow for Ero F1. As I'm sure you all know, 6 o'clock. I don't know who will be streaming, but me and Jacob will be racing. So be sure to tune in. I'm sure that will be another entertaining race for you all, especially with what's been going on in the last couple of races in F1. So definitely make sure you watch that. Until next week. From myself, from Jacob, from myself and Jacob, have a lovely week, and we'll catch you next time out. I'm not sure what track it is. Do you know what track is next?
I think it's Imola.
Oh, yes, it is Imola. Yes, so we'll see you. Oh, God. We'll see you at Imola next week. Have a good week.